And then I spend 3 hours going on Instagram and watching every single reel that has that tag on it. And I'm just watching every person and how they hold their piping bag and how they move their hand. And then I'm just sitting there trying it. And I just had to get frustrated with myself to then just be like, let's just keep doing it until it's right.
Welcome to season 9 of the No Dishes podcast, presented by our friends at Gameday Men's Health. They have a wide variety of services. You can find out more at GameDayMen'sHealth.com. I've been seeing them for 5 months, have lost over 50 pounds, but they do so much more than just weight loss. We're so appreciative to them of showing their support for the local restaurant community and highlighting the people that make it go. DJ, spin that track.
Hey, say, honey, let's go out to eat. Relieve our culinary duties. With all these restaurants to sweep us off our feet, they're bound to turn us into foodies. No dishes, no dishes, no dishes. We'll have a bottle of wine, relax and have a good time. No dishes. No dishes.
We're all a little weird sometimes, and we're here to talk about Weirdough, some really good cookies with owner Rachel Wiehe.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. Did I nail the name pronunciation?
You did, even though it's kind of ridiculous.
I think it's great. It took everything in me not to go Rachel Wiehe.
That's literally what everybody calls me.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Even like, I'll have to tell the owner of Icing Images, one of the printing companies I use and like partner with and everything, because that's what she introduces me as every single time.
Nice. I love that.
And I had to text her right before. I was like, I'm not going to be on the live tonight. I'm going to be recording a podcast. And she was like, oh, yes, I'm going to still shout you out on the live. So come back and watch the recording. And I was like, okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
And she was like, bye-bye, Rachel Wiehe.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
You can't escape
you.
it. So I know a lot of really great home bakers in town. And I think you might be our first home baker that we've had on the podcast.
Yeah.
Because again, typically it's like we want to showcase places people can visit.
Right,
but
exactly.
You do some really amazing stuff. And this is why Rachel is here right now. I can't remember what cameras. I don't know. You can't really see it that well. But these things are incredible. Garrett and I, and Garrett has his own mic. He can chime in if he'd like. This hat's really throwing me off here. We just split one of these chocolate chip cookies before we started. A lot of curse words were said in a good way. I believe some of the words out of my mouth were, this shouldn't be legal.
Yep.
Garrett, what was your experience with the cookie?
I'd love to tell you that, but I'm still chewing on it right now.
My bad. So what we were talking about, and I was telling Rachel, so Garrett's like, is there caramel in this? And it's like, no, it's just because the caramelized butter.
Yep.
And it has just that rich flavor. And then you get vanilla straight from Mexico.
Yep, straight from Mexico. And then I use a combo of brands. But yes, straight from Mexico is my biggest one.
Ooh, so different types of vanilla.
2 different vanillas. I use a paste and the vanilla extract from Mexico.
Interesting.
So it's a little bit of a combination.
Are we giving away trade secrets right now?
No.
Okay.
No. I have it all out there.
Okay. Well, and so the thing that stood out to me the most, and again, you did the salt on top, which a lot of times I've had, it's too much. Yeah. This was the perfect amount. But the hardest thing, and I think the most important thing when it comes to a chocolate chip cookie, speaking from a person with fat kid mentality, which is my clothing brand, FKM.
I love it.
We're going to start it.
I will be buying it.
Because it's a mentality.
Yes.
It's like, I just want to eat. I want to share. It's fat kid mentality.
I'm a messy baker. That's who I am.
Yes, exactly. You get it.
I get
I'm
it, for
preaching
sure.
to the choir.
Yep.
So anyway, the most important and the hardest thing to execute is the crisp to the soft to the moist to the, all
the
of
whole
that.
combo.
And this has it. The bottom, the edges, a little crisp crunch. And then the middle is just like not underdone, but it's like just right there, right in the way. Because there's somewhere like, this is really nice and soft and gooey, but it's maybe a hair underdone.
Right. And I take them out of the oven right when they're almost done. And then they finish baking on the pan after you pull them out.
Like letting a steak rest.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
And that's where the perfection lies. It's not eating it straight off the pan. It's letting it wait for like 10 to 15 minutes. And then it's like warm, but cool enough to where it's not just like a gooey mess.
Yeah.
And that is like the prime time of it all.
Well, you obviously have it figured out. You were telling us about this caterpillar cookie.
Yes.
You would think, okay, it's just a sugar cookie, looks like a caterpillar. What is it?
It's actually a churro cookie. So I have a churro cookie dough that I roll in cinnamon and sugar before I bake it. And then sometimes when it comes out of the oven, I add a little bit extra on top so that it just gets that extra kick.
Okay.
And then I decorate right on top of it. So
as soon as you described it to us, I told Garrett I had dibs.
Yes.
But it broke itself in half, which I think is nature telling me to not be selfish and to actually share.
Maybe.
So we're working on it.
Maybe we'll talk about that one.
Now you've got a huge following.
Yes.
You have over 5,000 Instagram followers.
I try.
You're doing something right. What do you attribute all that to?
Honestly, I love to teach people. I am a teacher at heart. When I was a kindergartner, I remember, actually it was my preschool year. I was at Gingerbread Schoolhouse and I held up a sign that says, one day when I grow up, I want to be a baker.
Oh, nice.
Or actually, sorry, a teacher.
Yeah, teacher.
And then my grandpa and I started baking at 6 months old together. My first picture is me sitting on this table, a table just like this, actually.
So I inherited this from my grandparents.
That is literally our kitchen table.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting on this table and I have a spoon in my hand and my mom is holding me up and my grandpa's at the mixer.
I feel like whose best childhood memory isn't like licking the brownie batter, licking the cookie, the bowl, the spatula, the whatever attachment.
Yes. And my grandpa always got in trouble because he was a baker in the military and a cook in the military.
So was mine.
I love that.
No way.
Connections.
Yes.
But he got in trouble all the time because he used extra ingredients to make sweets.
Oh,
and
okay.
the commanders would always like pull him and be like, you can't do that, but like, you're good.
Yeah, keep it up.
on doing
Morale is
it.
up.
Like, we like this, but we have to act like we're going to get you in trouble.
Right.
So that was kind of the thing. And we always joked. And every time, I grew up spending most of my summers in Nebraska because that's where my whole family's from. We have a farm out there and everything like that.
Nice.
And so my grandpa and I spent years just baking with each other. And I always kind of feel him watching down on me when I'm baking.
Oh, I love that.
But my mom and she comes and helps me too. And I just like to teach and learn and see new things. And I went to CookieCon a few times to just kind of learn from the best of the best. And you get to take classes with them. And all through my teaching life, I just stayed baking just for fun. And I started in preschool at Teacher Life, and I went through high school, got a direct admit to IU. I knew I was going to the School of Education right into teaching. And that was my dream. I spent senior year in Australia. I took a baking class there. Weirdly enough, it was just something, again, that I wanted to do. And I just traveled around learning, tasting bakeries, seeing all this different stuff. And it was the coolest thing. Even though I was there for teaching, my side gigs were always something around sweets.
Oh, yeah.
Like we had this little tea shop in our city where I would just go and sit and eat scones and eat biscuits and just like talk with the bakers. And that was just like such a good time for me. But in my heart was always still teaching. And so I came back and I taught actually Eastern Green for a year.
Okay.
I was the preschool special needs teacher.
Nice.
Which was super cool. They're near and dear to my heart.
Oh, sure.
I have a dual license for pre-K to 6th grade for gen ed and special ed. And so it's just something that I just love to do. And then I transferred up to Binford at 3rd grade. And I taught, my first year was COVID year.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, 19 to 20. And so we shut down in March, of course, and I was the online teacher till the end of the year, or a online teacher. And then that next year, I was the online teacher full swing. And I was bored because I'm not a sit at a desk person.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing I've struggled with working from home is I'm sitting constantly working on cookies, doing all that. And now I'm like, I need to get up and run.
Yeah.
Because in my classroom, I never sat down.
Uh-huh.
And so that's why I kind of started baking again. And all my friends were just like, you need to put it on Facebook. And I was like, you're laughable. Absolutely not. There's no way. Actually, down on my profile, a few down, if you find the ice cream, yes, that one.
Are you wanting to move better, feel better, and live better? Look no further than Move Bloomington, where their small group personal training programs are designed to improve strength, balance, and flexibility. With a welcoming environment, their expertly guided workouts can help you feel supported in the life and activities you love in and out of the gym. Whether you're new to exercise, a lifelong athlete, or anywhere in between, their dedication to personalized programming will deliver sessions that meet you where you are. Visit movebloomington.com to learn more and get started today. Constellation Stage and Screen presents Next to Normal, the electrifying Tony and Pulitzer Prize-winning rock musical. See it on stage September 4th through the 21st at the Waldron Auditorium in downtown Bloomington. With a soaring, unforgettable score, Next to Normal delves into the heart of a family shattered by mental illness but held together by love. Hailed by the New York Times as a transformative, feel-everything musical, Next to Normal is on stage September 4th through the 21st in downtown Bloomington. Find tickets at cconstellation.org. I've been using WaterTech pools for all of my pool and hot tub needs for 2 seasons now and cannot recommend them highly enough. Jason, Brian, and their entire team are incredibly knowledgeable and can help you with your next pool installation, closing or opening, or just helping you maintain your chemicals and cleanliness throughout the year. They even do custom stainless steel pools. Learn more at Jays, that's Jays, watertechpools.com.
That one in the body.
Oh,
Darn it.
yeah.
Darn it. If we,
Yeah, you're all good.
there's a second picture attached to it that's actually my first ever like decorated cookie.
Oh, nice.
And it was mortifying, absolutely mortifying, but it was for a bunch of teachers. I did it back when I was in high school too for my sister-in-law, but that was like, you never want those to see the light of day. They tasted good, but other than that. But once I put it on Facebook, I just, as mortifying as they were to look at, they still tasted good. And that kind of took me far enough to then keep practicing. And soon it was, I'm staying up all night decorating cookies. And the very next day, I'm going in to teach all day. And I'm teaching all day. And then I'm coming home and I'm baking all night. And then I'm crashing for a few hours. And then I'm starting the 36-hour cycle again.
Wow.
So it's just, it got to the point where I wasn't giving my best self to my kids. And that wasn't fair to them.
Of course.
And it was at a point where like, when do I quit my full-time job with insurance and all the benefits and everything? And it was like, well, before we have kids. So my husband and I got married and I quit my job. And it's been 3 full years now.
Okay.
Fully out of teaching. And I work 80 hours a week, but I love it.
Wow. I was going to say, I feel like you have a lot to show for it. I mean, just the visuals, back to the original, like you're following.
Yes.
I think it's due to, again, Garrett had the Instagram up here, but it's like just the visuals of these and just how stunning they are and how crisp and how clean and the images that it's all edible.
Yes.
Which is kind of wild.
Everything is edible.
Yeah. What was, I mean, I know you mentioned going to the cookie cons, but I feel like if everybody could do this, they would.
Agreed. And they can. And that's one thing I love to do is I love to do like public baking classes and decorating classes and things like that. 'Cause you can do it. The technique is actually, in my opinion, in the designing and then in your ability to like just knock on yourself and be like, that needs to be better. How do I make it better? And then I spend 3 hours going on Instagram and watching every single reel that has that tag on it.
Interesting.
And I'm just watching every person and how they hold their piping bag and how they move their hand. And then I'm just sitting there trying it. And I just had to get frustrated with myself to then just be like, let's just keep doing it until it's right. And that's kind of where it's the perfectionist in me and the ability to be like, I can learn anything if I put my mind to it. And just that teacher encouragement in me where it's like, you can do this, which you can, but it's just, it takes so much more time. When I'm talking about time in a set like this, Allie's bachelorette party, that set took me 4 hours.
Jeez.
For 12 cookies.
Really?
Yes.
That's insane.
And that was 3 years ago for me. So that was even in my slower times. Now it still might be 3.5. I've sped up a little bit, but at the same time, I'm so paranoid about the slightest little issues. Where like the cookies that I brought today were actually my reject cookies.
Okay.
Like that I didn't want to sell for money.
Right.
I would give them, they taste great, but the design is messed up in some sort of way.
So what is it like on these that?
My glasses, my piping bag had a air bubble in it and the glasses line broke as I was piping it.
I wish you guys could see this close enough. This is insane. If I paid good money for this cookie, I would still, Garrett's got the zoom in. Oh, he's out of the chair.
It's right under the glasses.
But look,
Maybe.
look
yeah.
at it. It's
That
totally
little-
fine. Ignore the fact that it's broken. That had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
But you can't even, it's a perfectly, and that shows you her level of perfectionism.
And that's truly how it is. And that's how I was in my classroom. Like, my classroom was Monsters, Inc. themed. And when I say Monsters, Inc. themed, I mean, I made 4-foot Mike and Sully's out of paper in a Cricut machine and like made them out of 12 by 12 scrapbook pieces and then pieced them all together like puzzles. And those were on my walls.
So when you say everyone could do this, theoretically they could, but I don't
They
think everyone
could.
can, because I don't think everyone's as driven, has that perfectionism,
Right.
that desire to learn.
That's the thing.
So I think that
It's
is
all
why
encompassing.
why everyone isn't doing this.
Yeah.
So I mean, for that much time, I mean, obviously you've got to be charging a decent amount.
So I actually just raised my prices this year for first time in almost 2 years.
Yeah.
And that took a lot of convincing for me, just purely because luxury desserts, yes, are a luxury. They are not meant to be that every person can get their hands on them like at Walmart.
Right.
That's not what I'm here for. But I'm also not here to rip people off in the sense where I know I could charge $100 a dozen, because a lot of people in the business do. Not in the area, but depending on where you are and your level of talent and everything, sometimes people's dozens start at minimum of 2 dozen, and it's $140 no matter what. Sometimes per dozen, depending on the area, $100 per dozen. And that's not anything wrong with that, because that is your area. It's also your talent, your products, your value of yourself and your time, what you are taking away from. And so however people determine their prices, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
If it's $100 for a dozen, that's what yours are. And I will pay that if I want to buy your product. But where I'm at with the typography and the geography and the kind of where we are, I used to start at 65 and now I bumped them up to 75.
Yeah.
And
But again, it took you 3.5 hours to make a
Right.
dozen.
Right.
Like, come on.
Exactly. And like, when the one thing I do have that is great, I just got this in September, was an edible printer.
Nice.
And so I can directly print right on the cookies. Now, that's not to say I'm really going to cheat a lot of the times, because I don't want to. I like to use it for backgrounds. I like to use it for little things that I would use a stencil for anyways with my airbrush machine. But instead, it's just 10 times easier for me, and I don't have to wash 1.5 million stencils.
Yeah, and it keeps costs down.
Right.
Yes.
And so that's one of the companies I've been working with and I've been traveling with them and just promoting, because they're a small business just like me, and the owner is very close with me. But like on this orange baby set, that I didn't have an edible printer for. So I did that all just by hand, as far as like the oranges on the baby onesie and things. That was just all done by hand. And most that you'll find from me is still done by hand.
Yeah.
It's going to be maybe one design in your set that's going to be printed. Most of the things that I got my edible printer for is actually for corporate businesses and businesses that want to have a edible business card, or just have something where I went to the wedding expo and I did an edible photo booth. So I printed your photo booth picture straight onto a cookie, and then you got to walk around with it.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. And it's super clear. Like you print on these icing sheets or on these cookies, and it literally looks like you used a photo printer. And so that was one of the main things, because I could not, my availability as far as big orders, I did a lot of logos by hand, and I had to like cut out my entire week because it took so long to do logos by hand. And now you can message me almost week of for printed cookies, and most of the time I'll be able to get them to you.
Okay. Well, you've done such an amazing job of answering questions I was going to ask. Your answers have been so loaded with so much information, which has been great. It's very efficient.
Yeah.
So Garrett pulled up a different aspect of your website that does, because I wanted to dive into your offerings and lead time, which is what you just mentioned.
Absolutely.
So tell us about what you offer, and then typically, if people are wanting one of these items, how far ahead should they get in touch with you?
Absolutely. So as far as whole things offered, I have sugar cookies or decorated cookies, since there's so many different flavors, in mini sizes, which are 2 inches. And those guys are pretty basic, but they're still really cute and pack a punch. But they're a little bit more budget friendly. The minimum is 2 dozen for that, and they're $35 a dozen.
Yeah.
So you kind of start at lower like that. The drop cookies are around a similar price. They're a dozen for $12.
Is that what this is?
Yes.
Why do you call it a drop cookie?
You basically just plop it on the cookie sheet and you're good to go.
Okay.
And so that's kind of where under drop cookies is where you'll find all of my flavored edible crazy cookies. I've got cookies and cream. I think I have like 22 different flavors.
Yeah,
and then
Garrett,
I've got
will you-
stuffed cookies too. And those are dad bod ones. And they are stuffed with Nutella, pretzels,
Oh, sweet mother of-
M&Ms, chocolate chips. And then, so I put the stuff in the dough and then I make the dough into 2 little bowls and I put a giant thing of Nutella in it, roll it back together, freeze it, and then I bake it.
The fact that you have on just one of these items of so many 4 different photos, it's like it's showing the filling. Like your marketing
Yes.
is so on point.
Thank you. That was another funny thing, like with CPTV, things like that. I was also the yearbook photography editor
Oh, okay,
for high
nice,
school.
yeah.
And so like that was my thing. I loved
So you
photography.
took all
for a
your own
while.
photos. That's incredible.
Every single thing on my website, every single thing on my social media will all be done by me.
Cool. So let me really quick. I want to
Yes.
run through these drop cookie flavors.
Yes.
Banana cream pie. Keeping in mind, some people listen and don't watch.
You
so-
had that one. You had banana cream pie at the wedding.
Yes,
expo.
that's right.
Yes, because you had the banana cream pie ice cream at the Mousse at the time. And I
That's
was like,
right.
if we could combine
Was that the
these
one up in
two-
Indy?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
If we could combine those two, that's like a dream. Yeah.
So banana cream pie, blueberry muffin crunch, which is the best kind of muffin. S'mores. I ate 2 s'mores granola bars last night.
They're
S'mores
my
is just one of
favorite.
my favorite
Yep.
flavor profiles. Cookies and cream, peppermint cookies and cream.
And that's the picture of it.
Okay. Lemon tart, pumpkin chocolate chip. I bet that's money.
Mm-hmm.
Grandma's famous butter cookie. Tell us about that one.
That's actually my grandpa's recipe.
Oh, grandpa's. Sorry. Yeah.
That is straight from his days in the military, and it's
Nice.
it's a butter and Crisco mixed cookie, but it's super light and just like it's that just like warm sugar cookie, that the classic thing that you always think of.
Okay.
And so it's basic but awesome at the same time.
I want to try that.
I'll
just
have to bring
just for
some-
the simplicity.
Yes, I'll have to bring some by.
Raspberry chocolate chip, hummingbird, hostess cupcake cookie, strawberry shortcake, snickerdoodle apple pie, carrot cake. Okay.
I
All
also
right.
have a pumpkin s'mores, and I actually put a whole.
Oh, what?
So I haven't updated that list because I'm getting a new website. Hopefully that'll launch in the next month or so.
Nice.
I'm working with a design company that is amazing. But the pumpkin s'more, I actually put an entire s'more underneath.
Oh my goodness.
And then I put pumpkin chocolate chip dough on top of it, and then I bake it all as one. So then the s'more kind of like comes up through it. So I have seasonal flavors that come around too, like the peppermint cookies and cream I'll have on a sale. So I do major sales at all holidays to where people can pre-order, and I have like 20 different options on every pre-sale between mini cookies, drop cookies, decorated cookies. You can personalize them. They're little gift sets and they're all ready to package. So that's something that's quick and easy for holiday time so that people aren't having to rush in and try and beat somebody to the punch for a holiday order. Everybody has access to holiday cookies.
That's great.
And so I do that because the sugar cookies do book out a while. Drop cookies and things I can get almost week of. Same with a cookie cake because I do a 9-inch deep dish cookie cake. And then I cover it in buttercream
Do you have a
buttercream
picture of this
frosting.
deep dish cookie cake?
I
on
do.
here?
If you want to go back to my items page, there's a few on there. If you scroll down,
Deep dish cookie. Gee, just oh my goodness.
I make it in a
There's
cheesecake pan.
What?
So that is like my
that is
basic
thick.
one. Then I have a printed one that I can literally print straight on top of the buttercream. And then up in the corner, that's my cookies and cream one. And it's to die for. I make it with black buttercream. So the actual black cocoa that the Oreos are made out of, I use black cocoa powder for that one. I have a lot more pictures of that one.
Yeah.
But for some odd reason, they're not in there
Garrett,
right
can you
now.
click on just you read my mind. He knows
Yeah.
me. There we go. That's the best
So-
shot where you can really see how thick it is.
Yes. And I think there might be a side profile. Yep.
Is that like 2? Oh my goodness.
It's an entire batch of cookies. I make an entire batch of cookies and then just put it straight into a cheesecake pan.
I'm literally losing my mind right now.
It is my favorite thing. And I make it with this cookie dough.
Season 9 of the No Dishes podcast is presented by our friends at Gameday Men's Health. I've been seeing them for the past 5 months and have lost over 50 pounds using tirzepatide. But they do so much more than just weight loss. Whether you're suffering from fatigue, loss of motivation, poor sleep, or other wellness concerns, Gameday Men's Health can help. Check out GamedayMen'sHealth.com today to schedule your free testosterone test and consultation to get yourself back in the game. Better business, better community. For over a century, the Greater Bloomington Chamber of Commerce has been a cornerstone of business growth and community development. They are dedicated to helping local businesses thrive. Their business is all about your business. Join the Chamber today. Call 812-336-6381 or visit chamberbloomington.org to learn more.
So, and
Garrett, are we going
We got to get one with the No Dishes logo on it for our first No Dishes happy hour event.
Ooh,
yes, we're doing that. And I'm going to talk to you about some chocolate mousse collabs.
Yeah,
we're just sneaking it in right now.
This happens every episode where I'm just like, oh, we could do this with them. We could do that with them. Anyway, don't be surprised if you see a Weirdough chocolate mousse collab.
That's literally my dream. Like,
okay,
my husband and I went
happening.
to Italy purely for our honeymoon, purely so I could eat ice cream the entire time. He was like, I've been with you for like 3 years by the time we got married, and I still didn't understand how much ice cream you could eat. And I'm like, gelato, but it's fine. It's fine.
It's there.
It's there. And he's just like, ice cream is your guilty pleasure, and then cookies are your specialty. So combine the two, and I'm like, yeah, that's my dream.
Well, and so we were talking about it when Garrett and I were trying the cookie, and I've talked about it on this podcast, on the radio show.
Yeah.
Lovey, who owns the chocolate mousse, and myself, we love our ice cream, but we are baked goods people. Like, we love our baked goods.
All the baked goods.
We were just talking about how very soon we want to roll out a hot cookie and a hot brownie sundae.
Yes.
Anyway. Stuff's coming.
Well,
business is happening.
Exactly.
Right here.
I've also been testing a brookie.
Oh,
the brownie
yeah.
with this cookie dough on top. So I'm testing a lot of things out.
That's great. I love it. And you've been.
If you ever need a test subject, you got our number, right?
I mean, yes, absolutely. That is my biggest goal because I just got my kitchen finished. I had a tiny little 100 square foot kitchen in our house. And we decided to expand because it was not the time to sell a house and move.
Right.
And our first contractor decided to rob us and take us for all of our money.
Put him on blast.
And I really want to. I really want to.
I don't care.
I mean, Drew Hollers is...
makes no difference to me.
I never have an issue
You don't need to
that.
Google him, Garrett.
Yep, that's him.
Okay. Garrett,
He ran with
allegedly
with all of our life savings and wrecked the back of our house.
Jeez,
We tried, and there's a lot of legal things on his side that are going to prevent us from ever getting the money that we will win. Multiple lawyers have told us we will win with flying colors. I have everything dated, time-stamped, dated, everything possible. Picture proof, all the things. We have a video recording of the encounters of everything. And they're like, yeah, you're going to win with flying colors. But the issue is on the other side where you're never going to see the money. So we don't want to take your money knowing that you're never going to get it back, even though you win.
No, it makes sense.
And so we respected the fact that they told us that, but it really did.
Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, no.
But thankfully, we got a new contractor to come in and they fixed everything. And in April, they finished everything. So we started in August of 23 and we finished April of 25.
So it took a full year and a half.
Yeah. And for majority of it, we were living in a full construction zone because Drew took off the whole back of our house and actually left an exposed gas line and electrical wire right next to each other underneath all the house wrap. And so our inspector was like, yeah, you guys could have died anytime. We were like, cool, awesome. At least we survived. But now it's done. And then the tornado hit us.
What?
It hit the May 16th tornado.
Yeah, no,
that went straight through our backyard.
Really?
Yep.
Where you guys at?
We're right by the backyard is Bloomington Speedway.
Right. Okay. So that's our chocolate mousse warehouse is down there.
Oh, okay.
So we're right before you hit Fairfax to take
Yep.
a left to go over the speedway.
Yep.
We're the last left before the gas station.
Oh, yep. I know exactly where you
we're
guys are.
It's the old PTS warehouses.
Yes.
But yeah, just driving through there and just seeing that billboard twisted
Yes.
up and.
It was wild.
There was a couple people on the taste committee that
Yeah.
really, and that was nuts.
And we were standing in the kitchen. We had no idea. It was sunny, totally fine.
Really?
Yeah. My mom called me and she's like, "Are you guys okay?" And we're like, "Yeah, we're fine. We're standing in the kitchen. I'm making cookie dough. Like, what's up?" And then she's like, "Well, there's warnings." And we're like, "Yeah, but it looks fine outside." And then next thing we know, my husband goes, "Run!" And he said the vibes just fell off.
Yeah.
Was his comment. He just said run, and we took off. And then all of a sudden our windows shattered and we saw our grill go flying, and I was just like, huh. And the only text message I got out before the the cell service kind of cut out was to our contractor that said, "We're gonna need help."
Wow.
And 15 minutes later, they were walking down our street
No
coming to
way.
help us.
So you got like the worst of the worst and the best of the
Yes.
best.
So we ended up coming out on top in the end in the fact that we got our house done. I have a 12-foot kitchen island.
Ooh, now we're talking.
Yeah. And so it is the best thing. So now that I have all that, and now that the tornado stuff is finally getting done, now I am hitting the ground running with the school year starting.
That's great.
And so cookies are kind of booked out, not completely. I have a few spaces in September and a little bit in October, but I get to go to Canada in October on a cookie trip.
Ooh, let's go.
Yeah. So I get to go to Canada and go to a cookie and cake convention up there.
See, I've been in ice cream for 11 years now.
Yeah.
And I've gone to small little trade, but I've never gone to like an ice cream convention. And
You
I
need
feel
to.
like that needs to happen.
You really
'Cause I think
need to.
they do a massive one in
They
Vegas.
do.
Yeah.
They do, because I was in Reno at one of the cookie cons when they were doing the food and ice cream show in Vegas.
Yeah, we're making that happen.
Yeah,
Garrett,
that's
am I connected to this guy on LinkedIn?
You sure are,
Is
Jordan.
that what okay?
You and Jeff.
Yeah,
That's
don't-
wild.
Huh. I don't.
He's
'cause I
been
don't
around for 20 years, and we got recommendations.
Because I don't recognize him. I didn't know his name, but
Yeah.
apparently we are connections on LinkedIn.
Well,
Well,
this guy's
and-
not doing much on his LinkedIn. You can clearly tell.
Yeah.
Right.
And I
There's
mean,
one thing on there.
until we had the whole kind of blow up once I called him out on what was happening and everything, he was really nice. I
Yeah.
never felt uncomfortable. He was very kind. He listened. It sounded like everything was going fine. And then he just stopped showing up. He showed up 13 days and 6 months. So, and then it was just kind of like putting us off, and then just ghosting completely.
Yeah, not responding to calls, texts.
Yeah, exactly. So it was like, in general, I had nothing bad to say about this man. And we had 4 recommendations for him. So we had other people's testimonies that he was okay.
And that he did good work for them.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
I
we
just
don't
man.
really know what happened, but in the end, I'm just happy that our house is still
You're
standing
through.
and we're
You
safe.
made it through. It just sucks.
Exactly. And now I have edible printer and I can just keep on going. I've been working with IU quite a bit to just try and
Oh, I know. I've
start
seen
to
it.
recoup everything.
There you go.
So
Hey Garrett, can we put your LinkedIn profile photo up?
What? Mine?
Yeah, it looks. Look at. Can you? Sorry,
It's an old
I
one.
need it.
I know it's a
It's
good
an
one
old
though.
one.
Look at that.
oh my gosh.
My beard is not even gray in
No,
this.
you gotta
I
put it on
love
the. You
it.
gotta put it in the episode. There it is. Look at
That
Garrett.
is phenomenal.
What a cutie patootie.
That is absolutely amazing. Oh my gosh.
Sorry, Garrett. I
Back
saw
when I
it.
had short hair too.
Yeah, no, that's wild to
Yeah.
see. The long beard with the short hair.
The difference, even just meeting you today, the difference is wild.
Yeah.
That's what COVID will do to you.
Amen.
Surviving a
I had
pandemic.
blonde hair before COVID, and now I'm getting it redone on Thursday, so it's not supposed to be like this kind of light, but it's normally bright purple.
Oh. Huh.
So, but I had blonde hair during COVID, so it's a weird time.
Yeah, exactly. Everything's good to go. So, all right.
It's
So,
so
people that you're doing great.
Yes.
You're recouping losses. Everything's plowing ahead. You've got this amazing product.
Yes.
People just go to the website.
So we go to the website. Yes, everything is a request a quote process.
Okay.
Just because of dates and things where
Right.
a lot of people, I can't tell you how many times I get the call same day, I need cookies for tonight. And I'm like, ma'am, I don't have a storefront. Like I don't have,
Right.
they're frozen right now. The dough is frozen, ready to bake, but they won't be ready and decorated and dry.
Right.
And that's part of the hard thing with royal icing cookies is I normally package every single one of them, and they need to be dry in order to be packaged. So it can't be the turnaround of same day.
Right.
Like maybe sometimes drop cookies could be.
Right.
Or if I had a cookie cake ready to ice and just go through, I could maybe get that ready same day, maybe. But like that's going to be a very rare time. So cookie cakes and drop cookies, they can be almost within the week. 2 weeks preferable, but 1 week is fine. Cookies, as far as decorated, I prefer 2 weeks or more. Never anything less unless it's printed. Now that I have the printed option, I can have people call me on Monday for a Thursday pickup. I can have them ready to print on and everything like that.
Okay.
But as far as like designing and everything, a lot of people spend maybe like 30 minutes, an hour. That's a generalization too, but like not a lot of time designing. I spend like 2 hours or more designing.
Wow.
Just because I am so particular about making sure that there's levels and textures and everything. And I don't want to take anybody's ideas. So if I see an idea, I want to make sure that I like switch it up and make it my own.
Yeah, of course.
And there's so much inspiration out there that I get overwhelmed with ideas too.
Oh, I'm sure.
So the designing process is another thing that takes a longer time for me as far as decorated cookies. But other than that, really the turnaround time can be pretty quick as far as anything easy that you just need to take to the office or to a friend's party or something like that.
That's great.
So-
I love it. Well, the cookies are amazing. I
Thank
tasted them multiple times, but today really jogged. I'm glad we almost didn't eat one before we started.
Yes.
And I'm like, dude, they were staring at me, and I'm so glad because now we have that firsthand. Like, it just happened. Let me
Yes.
tell you about it.
Exactly.
But it's great. The No Dishes podcast is brought to you by VisitBloomington.com. VisitBloomington.com is the best resource for restaurant and culinary information, special events, fun activities, places to stay, and more in our area. We share a similar mission here on the No Dishes podcast of highlighting local businesses and the people who make our community unique. We can't thank them enough for hopping on board. Check them out at visitbloomington.com to easily plan your next meal, visit, or night out on the town. The Bloomington Town Planner is a community calendar owned and published by local residents John and Sharon Martin. Mailed out to Bloomington homes in December of each year, it features school schedules and community events. And don't forget the coupons at the bottom of the calendar. They'll save you money and help you decide on the next restaurant or retailer to check out here in the Bloomington area. Town Planner also has an online calendar which can be found at townplanner.com. Make sure to sign up for their weekly e-newsletter so you can stay on top of all the fun events going on around town.
Maybe we'll have to do a cookie class of some sort with chocolate mousse.
Yeah.
Because we could do like team building and all that jazz. Because I often host cookie classes at Crazy Horse.
Oh, okay, cool.
And then Kirkwood Candle Company I've been working
Yeah.
with too. And so
We'll do it.
I do a ton of
We'll do cookie classes in the dining room.
It's so much fun.
Yeah. Well, and I've got a million ideas related to Weirdough and chocolate mousse, but we'll talk about those when we're done recording.
We'll have to.
What we'll do is
there,
we'll set up a
sure.
meeting.
Yes.
And then we can dive into everything.
In all of our busy lives.
Yeah. All right. Well, Weirdough, check it out. Go to the website,
Yes.
order it. Tons of different options. We covered a portion of them.
Yes.
But so many different things. You can just tell how much care and passion goes into it. The last thing we always
appreciate
touch
that.
on is restaurants you like to eat out of. And I know you and I have some mutual friends.
Yes.
We went to the local gym of B-Dubs.
Oh, yes. B-dubs. Always the B-dubs.
Yeah. It was like it's like places that are near and dear to Bloomington. It's like
Yes.
Buffalo's, Nick's,
So-
B-Dubs.
My brother, so weird thing, my oldest brother is 12 years older than me, and he came to IU, and so did my middle brother. So I've been here since 2002.
Okay.
And so I grew up coming to Grazie.
No,
That is
yeah.
now Che Bello.
Of course.
But Grazie was our place. We had every nice restaurant dinner there. And now I very much enjoy Che Bello, but I just miss that Grazie.
Right.
Nothing can ever compare, but Che Bello does a darn good job.
So did you grow up in Nebraska?
My parents moved to Chicago right when they got married, and our whole family kind of still lived back in Nebraska.
Okay.
So we're the transplants into Chicago area.
Okay.
And then my dad got a job in Crown Point.
Gotcha.
So I grew up in Crown Point and then
Came
migrated
for
down
school.
Yep.
And then stayed.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
I was coming back from Australia at the end of or at the beginning of the summer.
Yeah.
And so I was like, to find a teaching job and move and do all that. I was like, I'm not doing that. I'll find something around Bloomington.
Yeah, okay.
And so that's so I stuck around here. But Grazie was one of my favorites. And then Irish Lion was one of my husband's and my first date. It was one of my brothers and my parents and I's favorite places to go.
Aww.
We loved to just go there, and that was our favorite.
Did you see the photo someone just posted of the inside? And like the bar's not in there and it's all ripped
heard
up.
It's being refurbished.
Oh, I knew. Yeah, I don't. I'm sure it's being taken care of.
Yes, but it's
just
so
because I know
sad.
CVC or CFC, they do stuff right.
They do.
So I knew that CFC wouldn't just go in there and demolish it.
I agree, and same with the Cook family.
But it's still just, exactly. It's still weird just seeing that picture without it being in there. Dude, I found this video. I had all these old laptops put onto an external.
Oh my gosh.
I literally couldn't remember the password for one. And they were able to just pull all of these like old photos and videos and music. The main thing I wanted was this old music where I had this like exclusive unreleased stuff from my favorite indie band from high school.
Yes.
And they were able to get it all, and I have it all in this external, and I was going through some of the stuff, and I found this video I took starting in the basement of the old chocolate mousse stand.
Oh my God.
But it's so sad. I don't even want to post it because I feel like people are going to be so sad seeing it in the state that was in, because all the equipment was out. It was literally right before they were about to tear it down.
And that broke all of our hearts.
I know.
I mean, everybody's.
I know.
My brother called me. My oldest brother lives in Boise, Idaho now. And he called me. He goes, "They're tearing down chocolate mousse, Rachel." I said, "No, they are, but they're not getting rid of chocolate mousse.
Yeah.
They're just moving buildings. There's development." He goes, I don't like it. I'm like, "I'm sorry, but that's what, at least they're not going away." And he's like, "No, I don't like it." And I was like, "I'm sorry."
That was the resounding sentiment. Well, I didn't like it either.
No.
I've talked about it so much over the years, and there was so much charm to the old A-frame stand.
Exactly.
It was incredibly efficient.
It was.
We didn't waste steps. It's all through that one little window, and you could just turn around, do everything you needed to do.
And I have pictures there too from when my brother was here
nice.
still. Chocolate mousse was where we came.
Oh, I love that.
It was chocolate mousse, Grazie. That was always kind of like our little...
The move.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then Buffalo's, of course, was the staple for sure.
Yeah, well, that's a great transition. I was going to ask about some of your current favorites that are still around.
Buffalo's by far is one of my go-tos. I actually taught with Jamie Schwartzman.
Oh, nice.
She was at Binford. She was a sub for a while. And when I was phasing out into cookies, she was actually one of my main subs that took over my class.
Oh, okay, cool.
And I never left before the end of the school year, but we don't get paid as teachers for our sick days. So I had 80. Well, what was I going to do with them? So I took a Friday off every other week. But that was more than I've ever taken. I mean, I've taken 2 sick days in my entire teaching career.
Wow.
So to take that much, it was like nice to have Jamie there. And that's when they were starting to roll out parts of Gable's Bagels.
Oh, okay.
So she was bringing sample bagels to the teacher's lounge.
Nice.
And we would all like watch for her to come down the hallway and be like, is Jamie here today? Is she bringing some testers? And then we would follow her down to the teacher's lounge and be like, "What'd you bring today?" And
well, I always forget about the initial start of Gable's Bagels. Before the storefront was open, they were like doing it out of the Buffalo's kitchen, and you had to pre-order. And like, I totally forgot about it for the longest time.
I did too, until I was talking with Jamie. And then I was like, "Oh my gosh, now I remember all that."
Yeah.
And so
I ran into her and Ed at Taste.
they're so sweet. I just love them. So yeah, I love them. Two Sticks, I actually am really close with a lot of the bakers at Two Sticks.
The hat right behind you.
Oh yes, I love that hat so much.
And then the committee photo we posted for Taste was me wearing a Two Stick shirt.
So I actually found out one of the bakers and owners of Two Sticks lives 2 doors down from me.
Cassie or Amanda?
Amanda.
Nice, okay.
And we had no idea the entire time. And then I print on my edible printer for a bunch of other bakers around town. So
I love it.
And including Sinful Sweets and all them. And she branched off from Two Sticks, but she still works there.
Oh, okay,
and so
cool.
it's a combo thing there.
Oh,
so
I didn't know that, because is she the one that does the donuts?
Yes.
Dude, I went these donut holes.
They're so good.
Buddy.
They're so good.
What day? It was like a busy day. I forget what it was. And I was like, I'm going to pop over there in the morning.
Yeah, it was this last Friday, I think.
No, this was a few weeks ago, but it was it was like a busy day for me.
Yes.
I forget what was going on, but I was like, I'm gonna just go grab these in the morning.
Yeah.
And they were, or what, maybe it was the afternoon. Anyway, these donut holes were so freaking good.
And she's the sweetest.
They were the biggest donut holes I've ever seen in my life.
Yes. So I love working with other bakers, Jenny's Baking Company and things like that. She's one of my best friends, and I print with her and help her out, and she helps me out. So all the bakeries in town I'm just obsessed with, but Two Sticks was one of my first ones that I like remember going to as a student. Besides
Really?
like
Okay.
baked and things like that, just an actual Bloomington bakery. My first like memory of a Bloomington bakery really was Two Sticks.
Wow, that's crazy to think that they've been around so long. That
I know.
Because I don't know. I used to go over so much more than I do anymore.
Same.
They're our neighbor.
Yes.
But they are still my favorite bit. And there's so
They're
many amazing
so good.
bakeries that do a really good job. But Two Sticks, man, they just don't miss.
No, they don't. And
They
that's
don't.
one of the things I love their like dedication to community and things like that. And that's one of the things that I'm striving to do too. So I kind of look up to them a lot, where I'm like watching how they involve the community and how they engage with the community and all that stuff. Cause it's like, I miss that from my teaching side, is being with the community and being involved. And just like, I was the person that was never home. I was always volunteering, always doing everything. And now that I'm baking so much, I'm like, well, I'm never volunteering and doing everything. So I'm now trying to find that balance because I miss it. And
Right.
so I love to look at Two Sticks and just watch how they engage, and Caffeinated Cook and all of them. Like, I'm just like, how do you do that? Because I need to figure it out.
Do you ever think you would do a brick and mortar?
I thought about it, but I just worry after COVID, I worry about just the foot traffic of a new business, because I've just seen so many fall too.
Oh yeah. Well, and it's
Where-
like, if you've got a good thing, you just redid your kitchen, you can
Right.
hammer stuff out. You're obviously killing it.
Right.
You know, you don't have to worry about rent. You don't have to worry about more staff.
And that's the biggest part, is I feel like since I do take a lot more time on cookies, my pay time for staff and or me just never being in my house anymore is like, why?
Right.
Why am I doing this? I would never see my husband once we have kids. Like, I would never see my kids. If I can just decorate in the room, I made my cookie room have like a saddle door almost, or like a halfway door. So I can have the top open.
Okay.
And just still engage. So I don't know. If it ever became a possibility, like if I really hit big and things just really took off, maybe.
Never say never, but you're
yeah,
happy with where you're at.
Exactly. I'm just going to keep pushing. Mostly, I want to really start pushing cookie classes, just getting back to teaching and being involved and just being engaged and really showing people that they can do it.
I love it. Well, as soon as we're done recording, we'll set up a meeting.
Yes.
And see how I can help, how Chocolate Mousse can help, what we can do.
Awesome. I appreciate that.
If you've picked up nothing from this podcast, it's all about the spirit of collaboration.
Always.
We talked about it with Friendly Beast. We've talked about it in just about every other episode. All the ice cream companies get along. All the bakers get along.
Yep.
That's what makes Bloomington special. That's what I love highlighting on this podcast.
Same.
I can say it till I'm blue in the face. We've said it a million times. But that's what
Absolutely.
makes Bloomington special. It's so cool. We're, high tide raises all boats, lifts all boats, whatever
Quite
the phrase
literally.
is. You know
yeah,
what I mean.
I know exactly what you mean. I can't quote it per se, but I know I've heard it.
You get the
I know what
gist.
you mean.
All right, Weirdough, check it out. Rachel Wiehe! Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jordan.
You're still here. You made it, champ. I'm proud of you. Thanks to Gameday Men's Health, all of our other sponsors, and to G Baby Garrett with Green Hat Media. See you next time. This episode of the No Dishes Podcast was recorded, edited, and produced by Garrett Portinga of Green Hat Media in beautiful downtown Bloomington, Indiana.
No Dishes Media.
No Dishes Media.